Hey guys, my name's North, you're watching Northtendo, and I hope you're having a really good day. I think it's safe to say that I'm a little bit, just a little bit, obsessed with Super Mario Bros. 35. This is genuinely one of the funnest games I've played in months. Before this game come out, if someone had said to me, hey, let's take the concept of a battle royale, and then apply it to Mario Brothers, so it's very similar to Tetris 99, I would have said you were mental, but it's actually brilliant. As you can tell, I really recommend you get this game, and it's technically free. You've got to pay for the online Nintendo Switch membership in order to download it and then play it, but once you have that, it doesn't cost you anything to download it from the eShop. And that's like, what, £18, something like that for the year, so I'd say it's pretty worth it if you don't have that already. It's also only available until the end of March 2021. So if you're watching this video in the future, say just after Christmas or in the new year, and you've just got a Nintendo Switch for the big day, well, first of all, welcome to the club, and second, make sure you download this game. And even if you've had a Switch since day one like I have, and you haven't tried this game out yet, go and grab it, seriously. And to get you started, here are my 35 top tips for Super Mario Bros. 35. Now obviously 35 is a lot to get through, so we're going to do this rapid fire style, so make sure you're paying attention, subscribe to see more Nintendo content, and without further delay, let's get started. Tip number 1, you can change your controller settings in the options to move with either the control stick or the D-pad. I personally prefer the D-pad, but play around with it and use whatever feels most comfortable for you. Number 2, don't rush, take your time. The more you rush, the more likely you are to make a mistake. Number 3, it is not a race. Your goal isn't to get to the end first, it's to be the last Mario standing. Don't worry if you see other players ahead of you in the levels. Number 4, don't always take the shortcuts. I know that's very tempting with it being a Mario game. I mean, we all know about the pipe on World 1-1, obviously. But the time you would save taking the shortcut is sometimes not as great as the time you'd gain by killing enemies that you skip. Number 5, collect all the coins you can. This is very important in Super Mario 35. You can spend 20 coins during the game to get power-ups. Number 6, speaking of those power-ups, only spend your coins to get them when you're down to Small Mario, basically when you're one hit away from being defeated. That is when you are going to need them the most, so save them. Number 7, you can choose a power-up to start with. Whenever you finish a level, no matter where you place, you get coins that get added to a pot on your save file, and then when you're starting a game, you can spend those coins to start with a power-up. Number 8, get and keep the Fire Flower. Seriously, it's the best power-up in the game, and it is going to do you a world of good. Number 9, when you're using the Fire Flower, you can only shoot 2 fireballs at a time before you have to leave a little pause, and then you can start shooting again. Number 10, always shoot 2 fireballs at a time. Just in case your first one misses, you've got a second one as a backup, and if you come across a big group of enemies together, spam it like crazy. Number 11, don't use your coin power-ups when you have the Fire Flower, it's a waste. The mushroom and the Fire Flower will give you a bit of extra time, sure, and the star and the power block are great for clearing enemies quickly, but the Fire Flower does just as good a job. Number 12, the Superstar lasts a little bit longer than the original Super Mario Bros. Number 13, the music that plays when you have the star returns to the normal soundtrack a few seconds before your invincibility runs out. So keep your ear out for that music change, and then you know to back off and not go charging headfirst into about 20 Goombas, because your invincibility is going to run out and you're going to get defeated. Number 14, the power block destroys all enemies on the screen. Number 15, 1-up mushrooms and extra fire flowers you find when you already have the Fire Flower give you more time, so grab them as often as you can. Number 16, reaching the flagpole or the axe in the castle levels also defeats all the enemies currently on the screen. So if you get to a flag and there's about 6 Goombas in front of it, don't waste your time defeating them all, just jump on the flag. Number 17, when you do jump on the flagpole, make sure you get as high as you can, because it adds more time the higher up you are. Number 18, very important, defeat all the enemies you can. It adds to your timer and it sends more enemies to other players' games. Number 19, the feed at the bottom of the screen shows you what enemies are coming up and what has been sent to your game. Number 20, enemies will only appear when your screen pans and they enter the gold section on that enemy bar. Number 21, you can use either the left stick or the D-pad, depending on your control settings, to select a specific player to send defeated enemies to. Number 22, you can use the right stick to select a setting that automatically sends enemies based on your choice. Setting it to random will send enemies to a completely random player every time you defeat one. Attackers sends enemies to players who are currently sending them to you. Be careful with that one, you can get stuck in a bit of a loop. And the most coins and lowest time settings send enemies to players who have the most coins or the lowest time, obviously. Number 23, don't worry too much about this selection. Don't worry about picking a specific target or thinking, wow, I need to change it to attackers now, or I need to change it to most coins. I usually just set it on random and then focus on not dying. Number 24, if a player dies to something you sent to their game, you get a KO point and receive all the coins they were holding as well as their remaining time. You can tell if you get a KO against someone because their KO screen will be orange instead of blue. Number 25, Goombas and green Koopa Troopers walk off cliffs, which doesn't count as defeating them. Number 26, most people will know this, but just in case you don't, red Koopa Troopers turn around at the edges of cliffs, so time your jumps well against the red Koopa Troopers. Number 27, Koopa Paratroopers, or the winged Koopas, get sent to another player's level when you first stomp on them and get rid of their wings. Stomping on them a second time doesn't send another Koopa. Number 28, again a bit of an obvious one, if you kick a Koopa shell and it goes cascading through all the enemies in front of you, watch out for it bouncing back and dealing damage. Number 29, use the Fire Flower to destroy Koopa shells that bounce back at you. So kick the shell and send a couple of fireballs chasing after it, just in case it ricochets back. Number 30, the Fire Flower power-up can defeat all enemies except Buzzy Beetles and Lava Bubbles. 31, you can stomp on all enemies except Spinies, Lava Bubbles and Bowser. Number 32, Cheep Cheeps and Bloopers will still deal damage underwater even if you touch them from above, but you can stomp on them when they're out of the water. Number 33, the only way to defeat a lava bubble is with a shell, a superstar, or the power block. Number 34, if you come across Bowser in the middle of a random level that isn't a castle, don't worry, you can defeat him really easily. Bowser can be defeated with a shell, fireballs, the superstar, a power block, or by hitting the flag or the axe at the end of the level. I found the best way to deal with Bowser is to just hang back a bit and just spam fireballs at him. It only takes about 4 or 5 and it will defeat him. And finally, number 35, if you do die, spectate other players. I never really see anybody doing this. It's really tempting to jump into another game and try again, but spectating the players who are still going helps you pick up some good practices, and you might even learn a couple of things like secret locations for power-ups or 1-up mushrooms. And there you go, there are my personal 35 top tips that I've picked up on and learned and basically just worked out for myself whilst playing Super Mario Bros. 35. If you get the game and you use some of these tips and they help you, then please let me know down in the comments. And if you've been playing this game as much as I have, then leave some of your own tips down in the comment section, especially if there's any important ones that I might have missed, or if any of mine are a little bit incorrect, please do correct me because I want to help as many people as we can get into this brilliant game. But that's all from me for now. I hope I have helped some people in some way, shape or form. I'm going to go jump on Mario Bros 35 now and see if I can rack up a couple of KOs. Good luck everyone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and share this video with a friend. Subscribe and enable notifications to see more from me, and you can also follow me on social media. I'll see you next time, but until then, stay safe and have a good one.